Welcome to the Wilderness Podcast. We're on episode 20. Today's date is January 24th, 2017. And we're doing raiding into the new year. We're on part 3 right now. But before we get into that, I'm Dills. And over there...
Hey guys, it's Deagin. How's it going?
So yeah, before we get into that, let's hear, how was your week?
Oh man. Lots happened this week.
Let me guess, you went to the school library and everyone was playing Runescape.
No, I got noticed. I was like, hey, is that Deagin? Oh, no, that didn't happen. But
I was gonna say, seriously, that's fucked.
just from my voice, nah. But non-RuneScape related, just like school and yeah, pretty much like little inspection tomorrow, a little apartment inspection, like for fire safety or some shit. So I gotta, prep the place for that, or finish prepping it, I guess.
Make sure the leaning tower of pizza is looking good.
Yeah, find a spot to hide all my porn and shit under my bed. I don't know.
Clean up the lube that spilled all over the floor.
It's been months, but yeah. And then RuneScape related, yeah, a lot of things happened, and I kind of teased about it in Discord. I had a little bit of a scare, but I'll just say, I am like working towards my quest cape and whatnot, just finally getting that out of the way, because I looked up like all my prices and stuff, and I usually keep a record of like big items I buy, like my Amulet of Torture. I'll like, jot down in like OS Buddy or something how much I bought it for. And I did that with like my high value items, because I like to buy them and just see if they ever go up in price, and I sell them, and I kind of wait just so I don't know, I can make some free money, but also, get to use it at the same time.
Right.
And I didn't even realize, because I hadn't really had a chance to check, but my amulet went up like 4 mil or 3 mil since the raids have come out. So I went and sold that, and I sold like a bunch of my melee gear, and I made like in total like 8 or 9 mil profit from everything going up in price. Yeah. So, but I have like no gear right now.
You're poor and you gotta rebuy it, so.
Yeah, I have enough for like Slayer, and I have like my Bandos Tacits and stuff, and I can still do melee combat, but yeah, I don't know. I want to get my quest cape done, so I went, and the only stats I needed were like 50 rune crafting, which I hate, and then 58 thieving, which I also hate. But
thieving's not too bad.
No, it's not that bad actually, and I realized like rune crafting isn't that bad either. Like,
sorry, say that
like
again?
Both of those stats, like rune crafting and thieving, I really didn't mind doing. Like I needed 70 crafting too, I believe. And so I went.
Crafting's not too slow. It can be pretty fast.
Well,
and
I did
with rune.
I did the green D hides from like 64 to 70.
Okay.
So that cost me 10 mil investment, and I got like almost 7 mil back.
Yeah, so you take a bit of a hit.
Yeah,
I think I do orbs, and the only time you get crafting is making the battle staffs, I think, and as well as making the uncharged orbs.
Yeah, I just like. I don't know. I was just really like, people were saying like, just do that, man, and then you can charge them and make money. It's like, I just want to get this. I just want to get this out of the way, and it took me like not even an hour. Like, it was really, really fast experience, and I was obviously being as efficient as possible. Like, I ripped through that. Like, I don't really regret spending that money. And then I went and finally did my arty medium diaries. Like, I hate doing diaries so much, but I just kind of manned up, did that. And so I could get my Arty cloak too, which gives me a 10% increase on pickpocketing in Arty. And so I can go to the night near the stalls and stuff, and wear my cape and then pickpocket, more efficiently. So I went and did that, and that was ridiculously fast too. I actually got to 59
the rogue armor.
Yeah, I should have, but nah, I don't care too much for it. Actually,
if you don't know, I believe it gives you double loot if you have the full set.
Yeah, it gives you like a chance. Or maybe it's I don't know, but yeah, you get like a lot of money. And it's kind of funny, like I'd bring a full inventory of lobsters, and as soon as I take a hit, I would do the 2 times health regeneration, and I think it was like 4K per inventory that I was spending, but then I'd get like 17 to 20K back. So, easy profit, but went and got that out of the way, and then I went and did like my rune crafting, like 42 to 50, pretty much in a sit-in right afterwards, which was like from 44 to 50, I made like 1.5 mil.
See, yeah, runecrafting's awesome for money. And I think a lot of people hate runecrafting because it is really slow experience.
Yeah.
I actually enjoy runecrafting when I do it, for the most part. I shouldn't say enjoy, because there's nothing really that much fun about it. But, the only fun is when fucking someone tries to PK you, so.
Oh, okay.
It's the only excitement.
I think I counted 6 people attempt to PK me, and
it's easy to get away, isn't it?
It's just, I like, because with the OS Buddy OpenGL thing, how you have a bigger view distance, like the people render in at the same distance, but you can click further away. So I would like click to the ditch, and then I'd click to where the guy would be, like the mage, and then I would just kind of like hover over my necklace and get ready to right click. And like a lot of times I just get caught with like a barrage and be like, all right, later, you know what I mean? Let's just world hop and just get this over with. But I think I did kind of ask for it, because every time I saw someone PKing, I would like run by and be like, yo, sick content or something. And then I'd like go do my run and come back, and I'd like, yo, nice PK. And I would just like say random shit and kind of just agitate them, keep my friends list on, and then they'd add me, or like they'd be like, dude, shut the fuck up. Fuck off, man. Like, just they'd randomly get mad, and so I don't know, it was kind of fun to antagonize them as I ran by. But yeah, like
what I used to do, if I ran by and someone tried to PK me, I'd go back, and then instead of bringing rune, I'd bring rune essence. My next trip, I'd bring like PKing gear, but make it look like I was going to do another run.
Yeah.
And then I'd run out there and try to fight them, and hoping I could kill them.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever killed someone. I'm pretty sure, like, one time I might have got them close and we teleported out.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure one time I've even gotten killed and, like, lost all this stuff.
Yeah, someone was, like, doing that, so I kind of started ragging them. I may or may not have, like, added them to my friends list, wait for them to world hop. I'd come out and start poking them with my crystal bow and Bando's God Sword spec them or something. Just kind of piss them off and, like, run away with a full, like, I did that for like maybe 10, 20 minutes, and then they just, put their thing on friends.
Yeah.
But,
it's good you're teaching them, though, not to PK or go into the wilderness.
I just found it funny where he'd get really mad at me, and he'd be sitting at the ditch, like, yo, fuck off and learn, and he told me, like, you should just learn a PK, stop bragging. And, like, I just said, oh, the irony. And then he fucking put on his thing on friends and left. But,
hey man, PKing Runecrafters is PKing?
No, but he was like shit talking me that I was ragging him. Just like, I was following him around and just like crystal bowing him, running away, Sarah brewing, teleporting when he hit me, or BGS spec him and run, or I'd hit him with my granite
full
maul.
Torags.
Yeah, just like random shit to piss him off. Like, if he would kill me, he got like maybe 3 or 4 brews, like, not worth the investment.
Yeah.
But, other than that, I had to do some agility too. But, and then I did like a bunch of
agility, that's a skill I can't do.
It's funny because I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna get 70 agility. Fuck it. I was at 65. I had 7k experience left. I got to 66 and I said, man, how the fuck did Dills get to 70?
I was bitching about it. Like, no, it took me probably like a month. Cause I got from 60 to 65 and it took me so long to do that because I wanted to kill myself. And then I realized you couldn't boost for the clue scroll that I was raising for, and then I had to get to 70, and that's when I kept a loaded gun on my desk while I did it. Oh, Jesus. It was terrible.
It's so
yeah,
bad.
You quit at 66?
Yeah, I mean, I'll get 70 eventually. Yeah. I don't need it. I have I don't need it for questing. I was just kind of like, I should get 70.
Fuck agility.
It's so bad. My plan actually is just to do every easy and medium diary and put the experience lamps onto it.
Yeah.
And the hard ones.
Tons of people before were saying, like, I've read on, like, and I've heard people saying, you want to do the XP experience on rune crafting because rune crafting is the slowest experience per hour. But I wanted to say this earlier, but I'll just say it real quick. Whenever I'm doing rune crafting, the reason I don't mind it is because I'm never looking at it to level. I'm looking at it to gain money.
Yeah, exactly. And like, so it's less click intensive. It's less frustrating. You know how annoying it is to like fall on a friggin' rooftop and you're like, all right. No, that's fine. I just wasted like 30 seconds for nothing. Let's go back. All right. You know what I mean? Like, it's so... Yeah. I was saying to my one buddy, our buddy, today, that like, I would rather runecraft for 4 months straight than do agility for 2 days straight. Because I've done agility. Like, I pretty much did 1 to 65 straight and like...
4 months straight? That's...
Dude, I would rather do that.
Long.
I would rather do that because like... yeah, one, you're making money, two, it's like quote unquote more relaxing. Like I can actually watch a movie and not have to look back every 5 seconds. I can kind of click, you know, the bank, the ditch, the guy, and then click like the rock or the whatever. And then, you know what I mean? Like there's like way less clicks.
Yeah. Now, when you say do agility for 2 days, in this hypothetical, are you talking about you have to play it for the 48 hours straight, or you just need to, the only thing you do
I
that
wake
day
up, I shit in a bucket, I'm playing, I'm eating, I'm like desk, like I pretty much, I do that quite a bit. If I'm like, all right, I got nothing to do, I like sit down and I'll focus on like, you know, NMZ for like 2 or 3 weeks where I'm like, this is all I'm doing. And I'll like constantly have it. I'll be doing schoolwork and I'll be like doing NMZ at the same time. Or I did that with agility when I first started. I got to 65, and like by the end of it, I actually like quit for 3 months or something. Like it made me hate the game.
Yeah.
And so I
would do, I would sit down and at every click, like, you know, with like wood cutting, let's say you're playing a different game I have 2 monitors. So let's say you're playing on the other screen.
Yeah.
Or you're watching TV or whatever it is. You only have to look back every couple minutes to click on the tree when it chops down, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I would use that mentality with agility, so I'd click on it, and then I'd go to the other screen and start playing a game with like a story mode. I'd look back over. Oh, I finished the rope like probably 2 minutes ago. Click the next one, and it took so long. Plus, I go hard for 10 minutes, look at my experience gained. Oh, you got like 4K experience. I'm like, okay, let's go quickly jerk off. We'll come back to it, and we'll go hard again. But like, I couldn't fucking be super efficient for more than 10 minutes.
See, it's super weird because when I'm doing like rune crafting and agility, I get anxious about not being as efficient as possible. Like if I'm missing ticks, I guess I'm like, and I get like really flustered if like I start lagging or I misclick on a rope. And agility is just like the whole banking thing. I mean, rune crafting is the banking thing, right? If I can get through the banking like system as fast as possible, and I like to think I'm pretty good at it with like, I don't use mouse keys or anything. I don't really need to. I don't use the stupid shit that Automelogy uses that like puts the squares on the screen where to click. I just kind of just do it normally. But like, yeah, like I get really flustered if I'm like, now I gotta rebank. All right. I can't, you know what I mean? Like I get really flustered when that happens. And then agility is just the whole time I'm like, it's just constant, like, just frustration. I hate it so much. And those are, like, the only skills that I'm actually like that with. Like, everything else, I can fletch and click on an inventory and just walk away for 5 minutes, come back, I'm logged out, and I don't really care.
You know what's a good technique for doing, I guess, agility or other skills that you hate? Like, deprive yourself of sleep for, like, a solid week. Like, sleep for 4 hours a night for a week. On a Friday, do it and just like take like a Red Bull, drink Red Bull or something. You'll be in like a zombie state, and like you might be able to pump out some levels without even noticing.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know, like the one. Joke. Yeah, I don't know if that's worth it, but the thing with agility is that it's so helpful with your run energy and getting the marks of grace and stuff.
Oh man, there's so many times I go to take a shortcut and it's like you're 3 levels too low, and I'm like, I should really just
exactly
get level 80 and be done with it.
Yeah. But, yeah, and then I got a lot of quests done for my Questscape. I think I have, like, I think I'm under 40 now. It's quite a bit, but I can crank out most of them. Like, I'm starting from the very top of the list and I'm working my way down, just because that's, when I was a kid, I always wanted to do that. Like, even if it's like, I need another slice of ham or a rock, and like, I gotta do giant dwarf, and I'll go and do that, and then keep working. I just like working from the top, and just when I'm near the end, I can scroll, and I can just, you know what I mean? And just, the very last quest is the last quest I do. All right, like, I don't know. So I'm doing that, and I did like 3 or 4 quests today. I did 1 or 2 yesterday. So I'm getting them off, like, you know, pretty well.
You can pump out, like, I remember I spent a whole day doing it, and I got like 8 quests out because I was making the barreled chest anchor pure.
Yeah,
and I need to get cabin fever, and then a bunch of other quests like desert treasure and shit.
Yep.
So I spent 1 week and just blast them out. I remember I did like 8 or 9 in one day.
Yeah, it's not like once you get in the groove. Once you get in the groove of questing, it's really not that bad.
Yeah, I remember I woke up early to do desert treasure because that's how fucking cool I am, honestly. And it's probably like 7, and I'm like blasting through it, and I like finished it by like 10. I remember when I was a kid spending like 2 days having to do that, playing like hardcore.
Yeah, first time I did Monkey Madness, it took me 7 hours. I remember that. I remember looking, and I remember like kind of keeping track, like, all right, it's 3 and like time to do monkey. And I remember looking at my clock and be like, I just spent 7 hours doing one quest, and then now I can do it super quickly. Like, I have no issues doing Monkey Madness now, but I've also done it a bunch since then, and I'm not,
I would agree with you there, but I have a video on our YouTube channel of me doing it on my Pure, and it was a nightmare. An absolute nightmare.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I know the video, but I don't. What, you hated it? Oh,
well,
no,
I mean,
I do remember the
in the video, I got jailed like 20 times, and I'm not doing that on purpose. I was literally trying not to get jailed, and I was just like kept getting caught or like messing up, so I was getting kind of frustrated.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it wasn't till like afterwards I was like, I'm gonna go back and count all the ones because this is actually pretty ridiculous. And the worst thing is, and I'm sure you get this with being efficient with the things, as you start getting clumsy and messing up a little bit, it frustrates you, and then you mess up even more.
Yeah.
And then you're trying to like do even faster, and
yeah, my bad habit when I quest is like, let's say I'm doing Desert Treasure or something. I always do this when I first look at a quest. I open it up. All right, these are the item required. Okay, I got all that, and I just scroll through the whole quest, and I just like, oh my god, this is gonna take me 3 hours.
I look at the
all right, and then once I get near the end, I'm kind of ripping through it, but I kind of just like trudge through it. Yeah,
I just look at the scroll bar. What would you call that?
Yeah, the scroll bar, I guess. Yeah.
That's I don't think I've ever had to call that something. But anyways, I just use that as a gauge, and you already start like a quarter of the way down, so I'm always like, all right, we're making good progress so far for only being 5 minutes into the quest.
Yeah, I get like a nice little gist of it. Like, all right, and I kind of try and figure out like, this is going to be the long part, this will be the fast part, this is going to be, okay. Usually I'm totally wrong, but I like to try and figure out how the quest will go before I start.
Spend like 2 hours planning it. Okay, this is how we're going to do it.
Yeah. But, so then, after all that, kind of a little story I gotta tell.
Wait, can I cut it real quick just before you say your story?
Yeah.
I find it incredible. Like, I've seen some streamers, I think Bodhi, is the one I might have seen, but they were doing Deadman mode. They have some of the quests like completely memorized down to a T on what to click. Like, they can do it so fast. Like, I was watching, I'm like, how the fuck?
Yeah, watching Foe do like Waterfall Quest, Fight Arena, Tree Gnome Village, and I think maybe there might be another one thrown in there. He does them all at the same time. Like, he's super efficient where like when he has to travel around, he's getting other parts of the quest done, and he like has this route completely memorized.
And there's no downtime in between doing things. No, they're constantly going.
They just go through it, and it's kind of like, wow, that's...
You can't do that any faster.
Yeah, like they speedrun that shit.
Anyways, let's hear your story.
All right, so so me and my friend Nathan, we'll call him Nathan, and like he logs on to like RuneScape, and I haven't talked to him in a while, but he's like, I think it's the same level as me. He's 113 as well. And me, him, and my other buddy, we'll boss together and stuff.
Are these real life friends or RuneScape friends?
He's a friend, but not through RuneScape and not through real life. I met him through a real life friend. He's dating some chick who's friends with me. It's a long, whatever.
Yeah.
Friend of a friend of a friend. And he's a pretty cool guy, though. And we'll like boss together and whatnot and all this stuff. And he logs on. I'm like, oh, we talk. How's it going? And he's like, nothing. You want to do some bossing? I'm like, yeah, sure. And it's nice because out of all the people I've bossed with, he's the only one that's like, yeah, I'll tank for us.
Okay.
I always have to tank, and I don't mind it, but like, I don't know. So there are some people that are stingy with food. I don't really boss them anymore. I've done maybe 2 or 3 runs with them. Like most of my those 3 guys I mainly boss with, they're good with it. But I've had some people really stingy with food with me, and with randoms, I'll be tanking, and they like don't want to give me food or anything, even though I'm tanking it.
You want to give a quick overview on what tanking is in RuneScape?
Tanking is pretty much you hit the boss first, and you do like a lot of the step walk under mechanics, and you're just taking the majority of the damage, and you're kind of doing all the legwork while they just sit there and hit the boss. And usually I'm the tank because I have the highest defense and the best tank gear.
Do they ever switch aggro over like damage or anything like that?
Like Bandos and Calphite, like, no. They have moves that hit multiple people, but it's not like, oh, now this guy's tanking. Like, you can set it up so, like, I hit him first.
Specs, it's not like they'll do too much damage.
No, it's not like that. It's just like, I hit him first, and now I'm tanking.
I never really thought about it.
Yeah. You know, it's annoying because, like, you're the one running through food, and if you're splitting everything, unless you get a good drop, you're the one usually running at a deficit. Like, sometimes I've lost money with randoms because I've been running through food and it's my food and shit, and like, oh, we're splitting bones, and like, that's all we pretty much got, you know? Like, anyways, he wants to do DKs, kind of a tangent, but he wants to do DKs, like, yo, I'll tank, got this dope ass gear, let's go, and I'm like, alright, man, we can split it up.
So Nathan, wait, let's just quickly, Nathan logs on, you guys talk, and then he says, let's
do some
DKs. He
wanted to do Bandos, and then he wanted to do DKs. We just decided to do DKs.
Daggnoth Kings? Okay.
Yeah, because we want the infamous Lord of the Rings, which is where you get the archers, the Zerker, and the Seers ring all in one trip.
Dude,
that's nice. Kind of the Lord of the Rings. But,
sure.
Yeah, so I don't know, we're like setting up, but it's been so long since I've done DKs. And so like we're sitting in the GE and I'm like, alright, what gear Guthins, like trying to figure out all the gear because...
Is it just you and him going?
Yeah, we're just dueling. Because
usually
when you go on your own, you want to go in and into like the pit, obviously on your own. You want to go into the area and you want to make sure that Rex, I believe it is, isn't near you, and you want to try and run around the outside, stand at a certain spot, and then you can kill one of the Daggnoth Kings, and you just kill the one guy over and over again, and use your Guthins to heal up off like the little dudes in the water next to you.
Sure.
That's your solo strat, and then when you're duoing or trio or whatever, you go in and you kill them in order. You'll kill like the mage, the range, and then the melee or whatever. You kill them in a set order. And you do it properly, then you the one will spawn, you kill it. Other one spawns, you kill it. And you can get a good rhythm going. So, we're like trying to figure out, like, you know, cause you have to tri-brit it pretty much. You need mage, range, and melee. So we're like trying to remember what the setup was, and it's been so long. And we're like standing in GE, and we're on a Discord, and we're talking. And this random fucking guy comes up, and he goes, Deagin? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, is your name Derek? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm on Discord with my buddy, and he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, man, do you remember me? And I'm like, no. And he's like, yo, your name is, and throws up my whole name. And I was like, okay. How?
Is this in like a public chat?
This is in GE, like World 329.
So he's just saying this weird.
Yeah, at GE, right? And I'm like, and me and him were like, what the fuck? How does he know me? And cause I use my name, that's like my name, right? I use it for CSGO, I use it for League of Legends, like RuneScape, like
Deagin, right?
Deagin, yeah, that's just like I use that for pretty much everything. I have a couple other names that, you know, if Deagin's taken, I'll run through. But, generally that's like the one name I use. And so I'm like, this guy, and people also called that, like, that was my nickname in school too. And that's kind of where I got it from. So like, either I know him from another game or from school. And so I'm like, yo, how do you know me? And like, he's kind of avoiding the question. And he's like, yo, like, you know, and like, this is like where you live, like not super specific of what town and stuff, but like this is the general vicinity you live in.
Right. Like currently, or you used to live?
Well, it could have been either or, right? He was pretty general with it, but like, he didn't say my town. He didn't say like city, region, or anything, but he's like,
sure, you live on this continent. Gotcha.
Kind of. A little bit more detail.
Yeah.
A little bit more than continent and province. Like a little bit more in detail than that, but like,
sure.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like, me and my buddy on Discord were freaking out, cause I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? And then he's like, oh yeah, we used to date, and it was a chick character with a chick name, and I'm like, there's one person that would actually play RuneScape, and it better not be her, because she knows I play a lot of games, and she probably knew I played RuneScape, like when we dated and stuff, but there's absolutely no way that like, this is her, cause like, she would never play this, she's not, no, that's not her, and I thought, like, I'm like, this is so fucked up, and I was like, yo, dude, like, who the fuck are you? Like, you know, kind of trying to figure out who he is. And then, he keeps like trying to get me to go on Skype with him. And,
oh, what the fuck?
And I'm like, this is bad because I remember.
Wait, this is a female character, right?
Yeah.
Did they say they're a man?
No. It's a female name.
They want you to assume they're a female. Like,
it's
right?
a female, like the person has a female name with like a girl name in it, right?
Right, and they said that you used to date, so
I'm
unless
thinking
you dated a bunch of men as well.
It's a girl. Like, you know,
Okay.
this is like they're coming off as a girl, and or a ladyboy that I never found out about. No, but
Gotcha.
like this,
And then they want you to go on Skype?
yeah, they're trying to get me to go on Skype, and I'm like, I'm not gonna go on Skype. Skype is super unsecure. Like, no, you can. That's how you can easily get all my info and like my IP and shit.
Okay, yeah.
At least that's
I didn't
what I
know that.
thought, because, well, apparently they fixed it now, but Skype used to be really, really bad with that. You could add someone on Skype, Google Skype IP, like some random generic thing, and you could find a website where you post their name, and you get all their information for free. You know what I mean?
Cool.
So I'm like,
security tip.
yeah, so like, I'm not gonna go on Skype, and I'm like, alright, I'm pretty sure Discord's secure, and my buddy's like, yeah, I think it is. We'll get him on Discord, so I was gonna bring him into like our podcast Discord. I'm like, no, I don't have to explain this to everyone if it goes south.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make my own. I'll make me and him the owners, and we'll get this random guy to come in. As soon as anything sketchy happens, we're banning him, and then we're like deleting the server. Like we'll just like boom, we'll get out, we'll block him on everything, we'll get the fuck out. I'm not adding him on Discord, you know, we're just gonna give him the link. And so we go and do that. And this guy, his name was Waka on Discord, and he like joins, and my buddy's like, yo, do you know a Waka? And I used to be in a RuneScape Classic Skype group, right? There's like 200 of us plus, there's a lot of us. Everyone just fucking bought it and shit. But you go in there and talk and ask, oh, you know, what's a good thing to kill? Like, do I make money? Can I swap gold? Like, you know, you just talk and shoot the shit with random people. They always talked about Trump and shit, but whatever. And like most channels now, but
oh yeah, God, driving me nuts.
Yeah, but so like I'm thinking, like, I know like his name, like Waka, was super familiar, and like I swear I remember someone named Waka talking in that group, and I'm like, shit, what if this guy already has got all my info through Skype, like found me in game, and then boom, you know. So I go and ask all my buddies that are on RuneScape Classic at the moment, do you know who Waka is? Is he like, do you know a guy in Skype named Waka? And they're all like, familiar. Oh, it sounds familiar. Kind of like, let me check our group. And none of them answered back to me. But yeah, anyway, so like we're sketching out. We finally get him to join the channel and talk to us. And all you hear is like a, like this weird, this guy was really like probably overweight, and he was just breathing into the mic, and you hear like a lot of background noise. You hear like a girl talking to him, and some British dude starts talking, or wherever the fuck Liverpool is, because you could look at his thing and it said he was from Liverpool. Yeah, and I don't know anyone from that area, so I'm like, this is fucked up. And I'm like, the second he starts talking, I'll know who he is because I'm pretty good with voices. Never had like no idea who the fuck this guy is at all.
Even when he starts talking.
He starts talking, and he's like, hey, can you guys hear me? In his like British accent. I'm not even gonna try a British accent.
Let's hear it.
Hello, governor. Like, I don't know, fucking this really weird fucking British accent. I don't even know if Liverpool's in Britain or the UK or whatever. But,
no, yeah, it is.
But so he fucking, he's like, hey, can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? And we're like, yeah, can you hear us? And he's like, I can't hear shit. This Discord's fucked up. And, like, we're trying to get him to talk, and the whole time I'm like, dude, I don't know who the fuck this guy is. Yeah. And he's like, dude, log onto your Skype, and then try and see if you can find him in Skype, and see if any of his information matches with his Discord bios and shit. I go to log on, and my fucking Skype is hacked. I can't log into like, it said, like, you've had an attempted login from like a unfamiliar place, which is like my Skype gets hacked all the fucking time. I don't know how. I literally have changed it to random ass numbers and shit, like passwords I can't even remember, and like later on it gets hacked, and like, so I just like don't use Skype, right? And it's not that I'm ratted, it's like not that I have keyloggers, like I don't do anything sketchy on my computer, and I always run like malware bites and like antivirus scans and shit.
No, there are times where I go on Skype and I have messages from like friends saying, hey, come join this thing that I would never have talked to.
Yeah, exactly. So like there's some weird shit that's been going on with my Skype account, and like I know multiple people that have the same issue where like there's no way their shit's getting hacked, and it is. And like I have to be logged in on like some random computer, and for some reason I'm not being logged out and someone's fucking with me. Like only thing I could think of. But anyways, my Skype is hacked, and I'm like, dude, my fucking Skype's been hacked, man. Like, this happened again. Like, all right, fuck it. I'll go change my password. So I go and I go on like my old email, the one I used from like, high school or elementary school and shit. Like, whatever, the edgy emails that we have. And, I go to log in and shit, reset my password, and then I change my password to like a password I haven't used in a long ass time. Like, it's not related to any other accounts.
Yeah.
That I'm aware of. Like, nothing important. Like, none of my Steam, nothing like that shares the same password.
What about your Neopets, dude?
Probably is my Neopets password, let's be honest. But yeah, to like my knowledge, like RuneScape, I have a very unique random password I use for RuneScape and my Gmail, and like I've never used any of those passwords anywhere. Like, double authenticators, like, I'm safe on RS. And all this shit. And so I go and I change my Skype email. And at this point, like, I'm kind of freaking out. And the dude, like, leaves a chat and he's like, all right, I can't hear you guys, but here's the deal. Like, Deagin, you have an unsecured, like, router. And I got in through, like, an open port a port that you left open. This is the port. And you, like, start saying all this shit.
Yeah.
And normally I'd be like, oh, that's fucking bullshit. But I got a new router. And the default, like, every default password and username and shit does not work. And I can't even log into my own router. And, like, I've tried everything and I can't get in. And I was kind of just like, fuck it. I don't know. It's some random ass shit. Like, maybe when I set it up, I like there's, I can't get into it. Like, I had to have set it up wrong. I don't know. I can't log into my router. Fuck it. It's not a big deal. Default settings should be okay. Cause it's a pretty, like, good router. And so when he says, like, you left your ports open, your router's, like, unsecured, like, I got in, like, blah, and he starts, like, throwing all this mumbo jumbo at me, and I'm like, fuck, I can't even, and I told my buddy who, like, he works for, like, a big corporation, and he does IT for one of their, headquarters, so, like, he's this Nathan guy, so he's pretty good with, like, computers and shit, right? Like, he's an IT guy, and I'm like, dude, like, I can't even log into my router. Like, I've never been able to. And he's like, oh, dude, uh-oh. And he starts getting worried. And I'm like, oh, so I fucking ban him from the server. I close the server. I fucking, like, get away.
Wait, so he was kind of being helpful at the end there, right?
The guy, he was saying your ports are open. He's like, he starts going on how, like, he's like, hacked into my ports or my router. And he, like, he starts going on, like, I don't have the server, so I can't, or the thing, so I can't bring up the chat logs.
Yeah, okay.
But he's talking about how, like, he's got he can remotely access my computer and shit. And I'm kind of worried, because I'm like, I can't even log into my router, so this could be true.
Yeah.
And Nathan's like, yeah, man, like, that's actually kind of an issue. Like, he could be telling the truth if it's default settings, and depending on what router you have, like, it depends, like, how, like, and I'm thinking, fuck, what if he got my shit through Skype? And then, got in through, like, my IP, got, like, all my information, and somehow was able to log into my router and fuck with all my shit. Fuck, what if he actually somehow, and, like, I don't know, like, enough about computers to know if this is bullshit or not. Like, someone who might be super into, like, IT and all this stuff might be cringing on how fake this sounds, but, like, I wasn't able to call him on his bullshit. And the fact that, like, I thought he was in a Skype group, my Skype got hacked. I can't log into my router, and he's saying he got into my router, so I'm kind of like, all right, this actually might be a problem. He might actually be able to, like, remotely access my PC and shit. And he's saying, like, yeah, I'm watching what you're doing, like, I see you guys have been talking on RS, like, private chatting each other and stuff, and blah, 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 and starts going on.
Oh, so that's how saw you playing RuneScape and found you in game.
This is like, so, like, this is what's been going on, right?
That's where I'm stumped. I'm like, but he found you on RuneScape. That's one of the most baffling things to me. If
after I banned him and shit, I was talking to him, being like, dude, like, this is how he found me, like, cause we're both freaking, like, how, like, what are the chances of me bumping into this guy, him knowing my name, saying we dated, like, what are the chances? They're so slim. Even though, the most populated server in Grand Exchange, but it's still, like, the chances are super fucking low, and we're just standing in the GE, like, away from everyone, just, like, talking on Skype, or Discord, trying to figure out everything. And yeah, so I'm like, shit, like, maybe that's how he found me, and we start talking, like, man, this might be an issue. And my buddy's like, man, Yeah, he just added me on Discord. And he's asking for your Discord info. He says he wants to talk directly to you. And I'm like, man, I'm not doing that. I'm not fucking doing that because, like, I'm not giving him a channel to talk to me. Worst comes to worst, I was saying to him, like, I'll just fucking unplug my computer. I'll flash my hard drive. I'll fucking unplug my internet. Just hope he doesn't have anything. And I'll
dude,
fucking...
This story's intense. My fucking heart's going.
Dude, I was
Keep going. Let's hear it.
I was freaking the fuck out. Like, I'm like, dude, this is really bad, man. This is really bad. This is really bad. Like, I was freaking the fuck out. And he's saying, like, man, you actually might be fucked, but I can help you out. And so I'm talking to him. We're trying to figure out.
Nathan's saying this?
Yeah,
or...
he's trying to, like, calm me down. Like, dude, like, this is what my shit's all about. I can help you, man. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
All right. So if he actually does, if he is remote, like, can remotely access my PC, what the fuck can he do? And he's like, well, he might be able to listen in on us. He might be able to move your mouse right now. And, like, he wants to talk to you directly. And I'm like, dude, no, that's not happening. You're fucking talking to him. You're being the middleman because no, I'm not having a private conversation with him. No.
I'd be kind of scared.
Yeah, right? And I'm saying to him, like, dude, what if he fucking swats me? What if he swats me? Like, and there's so, like, I don't even... Okay, well, I'm gonna be honest, I was really worried about my RuneScape account. I was worried about it. I didn't even think about my banking information or anything. I was worried about my RuneScape and being swatted.
What if he bots?
Yeah, what if he fucking comes over, pins me down, and drops all my stuff? Like, I was just, like, really worried. And I'm like, man... And then, yes, my buddy's like, all right, man, tell me what your router is. I'm gonna help you get in. And I, like, go to tell him the route. I'm like, dude, if he's listening, what if he's just fucking bullshitting us right now? Like, what if he wants me to change, like, figure out how to log into my router, change the shit, and then he can change it back, and now I'm fucked. And, like, so I'm kind of freaking out, second guessing everything. And then, this whole time I'm freaking, I'm like, all right, changing my Hotmail password. I'm gonna change my Skype password. So, me being the dumb person I am, I changed both of them to the same password.
Oh, okay.
I just kind of like, all right, I'm gonna use the old password I don't use for anything. And I change them. And legit, like, 10 seconds after I do that, he goes, okay, I'm not gonna say the password I use, I'll think of something. And he goes,
Hunter 2.
Yeah. He goes, Derek, do you know a Hunter 2? And I'm like,
oh,
dude, I just fucking changed my password to that. He's like, what? I'm like, I just fucking changed my password to that. And he's like, uh-oh, that's a rat. He fucking ratted your PC, man. And I'm like, all right, dude. All right, that's it. I'm fucked. That's it. I'm fucked. I'm gonna have to, like, he's got it, like, this computer's fucked now. I gotta flash my hard drive, get a new one. Gotta do, you know.
When you say flash, I'm picturing you, like, getting a magnet.
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
literally destroying it. Man,
yeah,
that's
pretty much, like,
Hillary Clinton level shit.
Yeah, like, so wiping it with a cloth, getting that shit, it's fucking done. Yeah, just destroying my hard drive, essentially, getting a brand new one. You know, even my not my SSD, my other hard drive. Like, I just get, you know, 2 new hard drives, restart from scratch. And I'm, like, saying to him, like, man, I'm this close to doing it, man. I'm this fucking close to unplugging my internet. And I'm gonna, you know, whatever. And the whole time we're both freaking out. And he's like, hold on, dude, hold on. Just wait a minute. And I'm like, all right. So I kind of just sit there in silence, kind of like my heart's like,
yeah.
And I'm like, holy, and I'm like so freaked out. And I'm like, start getting paranoid. Like, what if he can get on my phone? He's reading my text messages. Like,
holy shit.
Yeah, I just start getting super paranoid.
God, the amount of things that are all connected.
Yeah.
I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
Holy
I'm like,
fuck.
I'm like, man, if, like, he's able to do this. Like, at this point, like, it's 100% certain that he's got some sort of rat or keylog where he literally just watched me change my passwords, and he's like, that's your password. And he's like, dude, just wait a minute, and he wouldn't tell me why. And I'm like, alright, so I kind of sit there, like, don't touch anything, just sit at your computer, let yourself log out of RS if it happens, just don't do anything. And I'm like, kind of sitting there, like, a minute goes by, and has anything happened to your computer yet? And I'm like, no. So apparently my buddy was trying to, like, coax him into, like, doing something on my computer to prove that he's got remote access, but he wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, man, you got a minute to prove that you, like, can actually, like, you actually have a, like, you can remotely access this computer. Cause, like,
or else what? Is this guy blackmailing you or anything like that?
So here's the thing. At this point, he's kind of just, like, showing his hand, right? He's kind of like this, like, trying to freak me out to what I'm assuming is, give me all your shit, or else I'm not gonna fucking swat you. You know what I mean? Like, that's literally what I'm thinking in my head. And I'm like, holy fuck. And nothing happens. Apparently my buddy sat there for like a minute or two trying to like coax him into just fucking with my computer, just closing RS and, you know, opening up Notepad, like anything, and the guy wouldn't do it. So he's like, man, I don't think he actually has like a remote access to your computer.
So at this point, though, he hasn't threatened or anything. He's just...
At this point, no. He's like, I know I can do this, and this is your password, and you know what I mean?
Is he being nice about it? What are the vibes you're getting from him?
At this point, I'm like, dude, this guy's gonna fuck my life up. He's gonna fucking swap me and shit, right? Like, that's it. Like, I'm freaked the fuck out. And plus, like I mentioned probably last episode that like my internet's been really shitty, and my RS has been really laggy. So that was also like playing a part. Where, like maybe he was fucking with me. And then now he's kind of like, yo, what up? So like, I'm super like paranoid and shit. And my buddy's like, dude, honestly, if he actually had ratted your PC and shit, and like had remote access, like, he would have done something just to prove it. And the second he had done it, like, you know, that would have been it. Like,
then you flash your hard drive. Is that the plan?
Then essentially, and I was like, all right, man. And what I did was, me being me, I fucking pulled like everything out that I could trade over to him, like my cash stack, all my valuable items. Like, Nathan, no, you're not gonna scam me. I'm gonna give you fucking my whole bank, and then I was gonna hide everything untradeable in a loot bag. I was gonna go out in the wilderness and put it in a loot bag, just in case I got hacked. The guy would be like, oh, he's got nothing, and maybe not look in my loot bag.
Okay.
So like I'm like literally getting ready to set that up, and then fucking something just clicks, and I'm like, wait a minute. And I go on to leaksource.com, and it's a website where you can look up your email and shit. Because like,
definitely do kind of check it out, because you'll be surprised. I used an old email that I used to use, and fuck, man, that thing got pinged a few times. Luckily, I don't use it anymore, and my up-to-date one was clean, but still.
Yeah,
see, scary.
That's the state that I was at, right? And I'm like,
yep.
But like, so I'm like, wait a minute, and everything kind of clicked. I'm like, wait, everything linked to my old email got fucked. This guy is acting like and I'm trying to think, everything he has said to me, he would have been able to get through leaked source. Like that would have been it. He could have paid the fucking, $7. And I'm like saying this to Nate. I'm like, dude, what if this is the case? Like, man, I think you're right. So like, and it's all kind of coming together. Like, he's kind of like saying all this really like obscure like telling me all this obscure information about myself, but it's not super specific, right? It's specific enough to be like, oh, and then you don't really question it, but the second you're like, come on, like go a bit more into detail, he kind of just stops. And
like you would say you have like dark colored hair. That's an example, I'm sure.
He didn't say that, but something like that. Like, you're about 5'8", like something very average, even though I'm like taller than 5'8". But like, you're around that height, and you're kind of like, wait, most males are like 5'9", like really like things that could actually trip you out, but like trip you out enough to not question it or ask anymore about it. So I'm kind of like, man, that has to be it. And I remember, maybe a week after Christmas, I looked up my Gmail and saw that, or maybe, I don't know if it was my Gmail or my, I think it was my Gmail, and saw that there was a password breach on ESEA, which is a website for like, it's a league in Counter-Strike. You pay money for like better anti-cheat and higher quality games, better servers, better players, and that had a password leak. And see, I didn't know and what I found was my old email had an ESEA account as well. Both emails did. And when I saw that, I had changed like everything related to it, right? To my Gmail to be safe. And I'm like, okay, like this has to be it. He had to have just paid the $7. And then I'm like, wait, how the fuck did he know that like I'm related to the ESEA? Like maybe he has like a notepad of all the ESEA hacks and then just got lucky, or maybe like what's going on? And then I didn't know you could look up specific usernames.
What do you mean?
So I'll do it right now. So you go on to leaksource.com, and I'll just type in like butternuts, one word, and then there's a search type. There's IP address, email, name, phone number, and username. And then you search up the username, and it shows you everything related, like Dailymotion, iMesh, Ashley Madison. I actually had a hit for Ashley Madison twice as well, which is we used to cheat on people. Ebony.com, like bunch of random ass shit, right? Penthouse.com, Heroes of New Earth, like just random ass shit that like, other people made accounts with that same name.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, wait a minute. And I looked up my name and found Ashley Madison, R2 Games, which I have no idea what the fuck that is. Adult Friend Finder, Last.fm. I don't really know what that is either.
I think that's a radio.
Oh,
thing.
Nexus Mods, CD Projekt Red, ESEA, WildStar, and like, you know what I mean? Like a bunch of random things. I'm like, wait, this guy fucking saw me standing in the GE, saw I was a high level wearing like bandos and shit, literally had to have looked me up on League Source and said, ESEA, alright, I'm paying the $7. What's in this database? And then you click it and it says register date, city, province, like login, username, first name, last name, hash, email, like, you know what I mean? So he was able to get,
no shit.
He was able to get like so much shit, like my email, and from there he could look up my email, and from there he could look up this and that, and you know what I mean, and a bunch of other shit. And I just fucking like I went out of the dude on Discord, messaged him like, dude, you're so full of shit. Don't even try and fuck with me. I wish I could pay like $7 to find out your information. And
so wait, you figured that all out while you're like trading over your items. You're just thinking about it.
No, here's the thing.
All of a sudden you're just like, let's go on Leak Source. You saw ECA, and then you went on there.
Well, like as I'm pulling out my items, right? Because like I have like, you know, 10 mil worth of herbs. So I'm like, which herbs do I want? And you know, okay, grab all my good melee gear. All right, gonna put this in the loot. And I'm sitting there like figuring it all out.
You didn't clear your placeholders, did you?
No, of course not.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Yeah, no, I definitely made sure to keep those. And it's like, as I'm pulling that out though, you know, it's like a 5-minute process, and I'm like thinking, and I'm like freaking out, and then I kind of like, it was just like a random like brain blast, like Jimmy Neutron, where I'm like, wait a minute, kind of like something isn't adding up, and I was kind of like, yo, Nate, like this isn't legit. And he's like, what do you mean? And I started like, we were like talking about it and shit, right? And we're like, wait. And then I started thinking about like Leak Source. I'm like, wait, ESEA, do I have 2 emails linked to ESEA? Because I might. And you know what I mean? And then I like find, and then as I like, I go on a Leak Source, I see like, I know to search type and find username. You know what I mean? Like it kind of like all happens at once, where it's like, just like boom, 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 boom. And, I'm like, holy shit, that's it. Like, no, this guy's not legit. This guy literally found me in the GE, searched up my name, is spending the extra money to get my information. And then he's going to try and fucking threaten me with it. Like he's gonna like whatever, and like I add the dude on Discord, and like the whole time he was kind of hinting towards the sinister, like he's gonna try and blackmail me with some shit. Like he's kind of leaning towards that, just everything that adds up. And I fucking call him out. I'm like, dude, like no, you fucking paid for the money. You paid the money on Leak Source. That's how you got my information. And like once I saw that, like register date, city, province, login, you know, your name, your date, like your birthday and shit. Like, this is how we got, like, all of it. Because he pretty much mentioned everything that was on the ESEA leak. All of this shit. And, like, at the time, like, you know, I thought, oh, it's someone I know in real life. I don't even, you know, you don't even think about someone hacking you. So, like, you're, like, I'm not skeptical or, like, worried about, like, them, you know, like, just, like, when they said all the information, I'm like, oh, it's someone I know. Who is this? And then it's like, no, I'm a fucking hacker, you little bitch, you know? I'm gonna fuck you up, buddy. Like, that type of thing. And then I called him out, and he's kind of tries to deny it for the first bit. And I'm like, no, man. And I'm like, login, you got me with that. Like, my first name, my last name, you got me with that. Like, my register date, you got me with all this stuff. But none of it's so specific that you actually have any and I call him out, and he's like, yeah, fuck, you're right. And then he like starts saying how he's a white hat hacker, spreading awareness to hacking and stuff. And I was like, bull fucking shit, man. Like, if you could have just been like, hey, dude, you should really like this, you know, you're linked to ESEA, you're linked and all the, right? He'd like,
you wouldn't say your ports are open in your routers. Now you're calling your fucking internet provider.
And dude, the whole worry was, everything he said was just really, really fucking lucky timing, because I changed my email and my Skype. To ask that. I changed that password to my old ESEA password on my old email at the time. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't even know I was using that as an email when the account got hacked. Like, and as he said, it was literally right after I changed my password. And the whole, I got into your router. It's like, I can't even get into mine. So he could be telling that, like, it just fucking everything that happened at like the perfect time. And like, oh my god, dude, it was super fucking scary and shit. And then in the end, he's like, yeah, just spreading awareness. And I was like, dude, you know what, man? Like,
go fuck yourself.
Yeah, dude, what the fuck, man, dude? And I said, like, if you're trying to spread awareness, but you're obviously not, fucking go about this a different way, because this this isn't how you do it. And then he starts saying like really weird shit that didn't make any sense.
Yeah, okay.
And I just like, all right, man. And I just blocked him and shit. But like, and then obviously I reported him on RS after he leaked all my personal information and shit in Grand Exchange. Reported him for, you know, giving all my info. That probably doesn't do anything though. But like, it was like and I like, yeah, after like that whole thing, I kind of realized I'm sitting there with like my whole bank of my inventory ready to trade it over some dude that's like
quit for a while, right?
Like, pardon? What do you mean?
You said he quit for a while, your friend.
Yeah, he came back, but I'm like, I'm ready to trade everything over like to him to hold on to just in case these guys and then you just kind of realize that like this was just really, really unlucky timing. And yeah, the fact that my Skype was hacked, I changed my Skype password and my email, and they're changed it both to my ESCA. And then obviously I've changed it all back since then and shit. But like, oh my god, just like the series of unfortunate events, just really unlucky. Dude,
that was
timing.
An intense story, the way it played out.
Yeah, like it was
like I was picturing myself in your position. I was like freaking out because like honestly, if a guy told me he hacked me and had all this information, I know even less than you do about computers and like how they work for the most part. So if they say like they have full access, I'd be like, you know what? My router's open. Probably. I've never closed the routers. I don't know how to do that shit. I never would have thought about it. So this guy probably does. And then like everything, I instantly probably would have been like, hey dude, what do you want from me? I'll give you some money. Just please don't fucking like download child porn on my internet. Or, you know what I mean? Like,
see, and that's the shit I was freaking out about because I'm like, fuck, I have Dropbox open so he can get my Dropbox info. He can literally somehow add himself to my Dropbox and then just start downloading shit on my computer. You know what I mean? There's actually a streamer.
There's
named,
some
like,
big consequences that can come from that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Someone having access to your internet.
Dude, some guy named Random Rambo, he was a streamer. He had an open Dropbox group with all of his editors, and one of his editors put child porn on his computer, and then people called the feds on him and shit. All of his shit got taken for like 6 months, and they found out it was Dropbox and stuff, and he came out clean.
Yeah, but still, that's not a
But
fun
even then, man, it was all over like a CSGO subreddit and another subreddit. Everyone's calling him like a pedophile. His Twitter gets fucking bombarded. People call the FBI making up stories like he's streaming child porn on Twitch, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People are like making up stories because they're freaking out, thinking this guy's a pedo, or like really someone just quote unquote trolled him, kind of like dicked him around. And it's like I wasn't worried about that. I was worried about like, well, my RuneScape shit. I was like really worried about getting swatted.
Let's get our priorities straight.
Yeah, I was really worried about being swatted because like that's something that can get me kicked out of my building. You know what I mean? That can literally fuck my life up. Like,
dude, that can get you kicked out of life. That can get you shot.
Yeah, exactly, right? And like you come in here, 21-year-old male who this is the thing, right? And then I get swatted. I'm in an apartment building with a bunch of old people, and it's kind of like, you know, if it's gonna happen, I guess, you know, if I heard that on the news, some 21-year-old guy was like running the Silk Road or something from his computer in an apartment full of old people that like, you know, it's kind of like it's kind of a good hiding spot for someone to do illegal activity, I guess. But like, dude, that's what I was like, man, what if they just come in guns blazing and I'm like at my computer freaking out and boom, I get fucking like one tapped, buddy headshots me. You know what I mean? But like, I was like, yeah. And then like now that I look back on it, it's kind of like, all right, well, why would my ports be open by default on this router? This is a pretty good router. And then I'm kind of like, you know what? I should figure out how to get into my router to make sure they're closed. But like they're definitely like or not open because I've tried opening them to play games and like there's no way for me to find out how to do it. Like, I don't know. It's like when I look back on it, it's kind of like if I was calm, I would have been like, all right, this guy's fucking with me. I think actually in the end, if I knew you could search up fucking usernames on leak source, which I don't think should be a thing.
Yeah, the thing is, no, I definitely agree. That almost kind of entices. I almost feel like we should even have this on the podcast.
But like, I mean, I know I'm safe. You're probably safe. Like,
that's like, no, that's good. It's a good kind of warning. And like, because you mentioned, the ECA or whatever got hacked, and I was like, who cares? Man, shit gets hacked all the time. My PSN got hacked, my information was on there, and I'm still doing fine.
Yeah.
But then, like, you never really finished the story of, like, yeah, no, actually, and then you went in, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, See, that's the thing. Like, I didn't know I had an old ESEA account on my old email that is using the same usernames. I didn't even think about the account risks of using the same usernames across everything.
Yeah.
And
no,
like,
I could definitely see that.
That's definitely
something.
That's definitely something I'm not going to be doing from now on. Like, shit, I'll probably close down. Well, I should do this right now, but I'll probably, by the time the episode airs, my ESE accounts will be closed or name changed or something.
Yeah.
And like, just doing everything I can. Cause like, yeah, like, even though thank God for once ESEA got hacked, I was like, just to be safe, I don't even know what that password is. I'm going to change all my passwords on like everything. Like my Facebook and all this stuff was changed. And I keep unique passwords for RuneScape and my Gmail, which are like, Gmail is definitely the most important. I mean, RuneScape is too, but like, in terms of just like in general, security and
everything
stuff.
Everything kind of goes to Gmail for the most, not Gmail, but that's your hub.
Yeah. So like, fuck man. Yeah. It was actually like such a big scare. It was, oh my God, it was awful.
No, I would panic too. That's the thing. Here's the example I'm going to give. When a fire breaks out in like a house or like a building, you think to yourself, no, I could easily walk out and run down the hallway. I can see the signs pointing to the exit, so I know where to go, and then just go out the doors.
Yeah.
But a lot of problem is people panic, and when you have too many people panic, suddenly no one's going anywhere.
Yeah,
right?
exactly, yeah.
So, we all seen that squirrel that tries to run across the road, but changes his mind, and then it runs back onto the road and commits suicide underneath your tire.
Yeah.
Poor little guy.
Yeah, it was pretty much that, and like, yeah, so I don't know, just like, dude, even if you want to just like look up your RS names and shit, you don't have to pay the $7, but generally like, let's just say in a parallel universe, I'm signed up to cheat on my spouse on Ashley Madison. I'm like, oh, okay, it got hacked in 2015 in August. All right, so my email or my passwords do have this, you know what I mean? Then you can kind of like look at the websites, be like, do I use the same passwords? And if not, just like, think of something unique. Like I just like that. I was like, all right, these are the two passwords I can use that are references to my life that, no one else will ever guess, but I'll never forget. And I just like change those passwords, and I've like changed like every password on like everything.
Yeah, that's smart. And I'm going to make sure my accounts are secure, because if I were in your position, I fucking probably would have given away like my whole real life bank account and RuneScape bank account. Yeah. Not actually, I'm not that fucking stupid, but like I would definitely be freaking out. I can only imagine if I did, I'd probably have you on the other line. You know what I mean? Because if I was alone, shit, fuck.
Yeah. And so that's the thing. If you have like a really generic name, like I just looked up Shadow, the most generic, like edgy name ever, and there's over 400 results, I'm pretty sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, like there's other database with 400 results. You know what I mean? So like you're kind of safe through that. But yeah, if you like look up your name, you'll find your shit, and like
just make sure you're secure. Yeah, just double check.
I think at the end, if someone starts doing that to you, kind of look like, first of all, just know that you can look up usernames on leaked source, which literally, like, I really don't agree with that. I think emails are more than enough. That's personal, where you can search for yourself instead of me searching.
Usernames is all of a sudden now people can use it in a
negative way, in a malicious
way. Yeah, negative way. Emails were kind of like, oh, I want to see, bam, oh yeah, maybe I should go double check some of these passwords and switch them up or close these accounts. So yeah, really good story and heat of warning, I suppose, for future.
And then in the end, we didn't even do DKs.
No DKs in the
We were
end,
so
fucking...
It was such an ordeal, like a 30-minute ordeal maybe, and then we got there and every single world was full. And we're like, you know what, man? I can't handle this today. And like, yeah, alright, let's just go do something else. And then we just kind of like didn't boss. And then fucking the next day he goes to Bandos and he gets Tacits and a BCP in one run. And I fucking missed out on that. I missed out on like the easiest, 18 mil maybe? Maybe a bit more, maybe close to 20 mil?
Sounds right. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I think
missed out on fucking easy money. But anyways. So, how was your week?
I played a little bit of RuneScape. The end. No. I also got hacked. No, my week's been pretty dull in comparison, I suppose. I'll just quickly say what I did, because this is kind of already running on a little bit longer, but that's okay. I didn't do anything interesting. Same old shit. Doing master clues to get, to get my construction up. Nothing interesting from master clues. I'm trying to bouncing between lava dragons, barrows, and Zulrah to get my elite clue. If you don't know, to get a master clue, you need to get one of every clue, easy, medium, hard, elite. Turn them all in, you get a master clue. And you also have a small chance when you complete any clue to get a master clue. But fuck that, I'm just turning them all in just because I want to do the master clues right away.
Yeah.
So yeah, the elite clue I'm trying to find a way to get, because the hards, mediums, and easies they're really easy to get. You got hellhounds for hards, just tons of things, right?
Yeah, men and guards for easy and mediums.
Yeah. And then also, for those of you who don't know, you can get a Ring of Wealth. A Ring of Wealth, is it imbued? Not from Nightmare Zone, but you can get a scroll, which I believe kind of enchants it. I'm going to call it enchants. It might be imbued.
Okay.
And it doubles your chance of getting a clue while in the wilderness, right? So keep that in mind if you're hunting clues, right? You got thugs and shit. That's what I ended up getting for my easies because men were taking forever. It's 120. Anyways. So yeah, that's why I was doing some lava dragons, but, worried about PKers. But I was doing it, on off hours and shit.
Yep.
I knew it was going to be safe. So yeah, nothing interesting there. Now I'm doing construction again.
What's your,
very slowly.
What's your construction at?
It's 78 because I've gone it's 78. I think I've grown one level since, and I kind of slowed down. I haven't been going too hard on RuneScape just because it's just how it is. Sometimes I'll fucking play it real hard during the week. Other times I'll play it. I might play every other day or something.
Yeah, it just kind of depends on how busy you are and
how I'm feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what I love about RuneScape. I never feel like if I quit for too long, I lose the momentum for the most part. I feel like I can pick it up and leave it almost whenever I feel like it, and no issues.
Yeah.
All right, so that was my Runes. I don't know why I started with RuneScape. I didn't want to, but yeah. Anyways, for other games, I'm playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links a lot. That game's awesome for a mobile card game. I haven't spent any money on it, and I've unlocked so many fucking packs of cards.
You have Exodia?
They don't. They only have. They basically have a very limited number of cards. They have 3 packs out right now that you can buy that you can use to get monsters from.
Yep.
And they're all the cards that if you ever played RuneScape or not RuneScape, if you ever played Yu-Gi-Oh, like the card game when the game kind of first came out.
Yep.
You'll recognize a lot of the character, like the cards. As
Pot of Greed.
Yeah, fuck, I remember. What's that?
Pot of Greed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't actually know if you can get that one, but yeah, there's all those cards like it. But what's awesome is there's a very limited amount, so they're gonna release more, and I'm kind of excited to wait for the next pack to come out. I'm gonna be fucking pound out, as many cards as I can with that.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty cool.
It's a really fun game. If you like Hearthstone or even some nostalgia, definitely check it out. It's a sped up game. It's sped up than how Yu-Gi-Oh is normally played. It's half the life points than usual, 3 monsters you can play, and it's just it's kind of speed rounds. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, maybe I'll check it out. It actually sounds pretty cool.
It is a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. And I honestly, I didn't think I would because I fucking dropped $30 on Final Fantasy 9 for the mobile phone because that's an awesome game as well.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because every time I go to pick it up, I'm like, let me just quickly open up a few packs. Let me go duel these guys. Let me go do some PvP.
Yeah, exactly.
The next thing you know, I'm playing for a couple hours. So moving on from that, I didn't want to start with, moving on from that, kind of going backwards, but I'll bring this up because I want to give a little shout out to, Zoo and Chloe. He hopped in our clan chat, just said hey and stuff, and we got to talking and fucking. I was thinking about going to school. I mentioned that, but at the same time, I do have kind of a good job. It's stable. It's got good benefits. It pays well. The work kind of sucks, and it'll kind of kill your body over long term. Everyone that I know, that I work with, who's 40, they're just you don't want to do this. And then I started getting kind of getting anxiety. Fuck, man, no one's happy when they've been working here for 20 years.
Yeah. And
that's what kind of was my plan. So I started thinking and looking around. Anyways, he hops on. We get to talking. He says, he's finished his schooling, and that he became a teacher, and he teaches. And I was like, hey, that's kind of cool. I was actually thinking about that. I've always thought about it, but whatever. And he starts telling me about it, and then he kind of starts getting me I guess a little motivated. I'm like, fuck, it's kind of exciting. Okay, I want to hear more, and I kind of want to do this. So he's kind of giving me sources and just kind of whatever, and then fucking throws out a few programs you can look into that I never even fucking heard of. I doubt I would have even found because when I was Googling before, whatever, it was kind of overwhelming. So
yeah,
since then, I've started actually like looking so hard into it, and there's quite a bit of options that are actually feasible for me. You know, I'm 24. It's not like I could just quit my job and go to school full time. You know, I have a girlfriend. We own a house together that we just bought. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So I started looking into it and stuff like that, and realizing that it is doable. Many people do it in worse situations than I have. And so I just want to give a shout out because he got me really motivated, and nothing might come of it, but if it does, fuck.
It'd be pretty sweet.
I got the ball rolling for me, so.
Yeah, dude, you could get a bunch of kids to just play your accounts and shit. You'll make it like
I could teach some RuneScape stuff.
Yeah, dude, you could have like if it's a kid's birthday, they can play your RuneScape account for the day. They can cut wood or something while they're doing schoolwork.
It's a little sketchy, but I'll just put everything in the bank, keep the pin on there, and give them an axe, and leave them in the woodcutting guild.
Yeah, put it in the deposit box.
12 different trees to choose from.
Okay, Jimmy. No, you fucking use.
Jimmy, you want to fucking fail?
Why are you cutting you idiot? You want an oak is? You want a U is? Get really, really mad. But, yeah, that's pretty dope.
It is cool, so I'm going to look more into it and stuff. But as for real life goes, ain't nothing happening. That's about it.
Yo, okay. So, I just want to mention this because I kind of forgot to talk about this. So, 2 days ago, I've been playing like RS and shit, but like I really want to find like another game I can play that I enjoy because as of right now, like CS:GO, it's only fun when I have friends. League of Legends, I really just stopped enjoying it again. This is why I quit every time. Mm-hmm. H1Z1, it's super buggy and frustrating. At the end of the day, it's like I don't leave the game, like I don't log off in a happy state. I always like rage quit because hit reg or something, right? So like, I just need another game I can enjoy, something besides RuneScape, because I don't want to play too much RuneScape and get burnt out. I like to hop between games. And so I literally Googled like best story-driven games 2015/16, and whoever the fuck made this list is an asshole, because near number one is this game called Detention. Detention, yeah. And I believe it's an indie developed game. And it's based in like Taiwan or some Asian country, right? And you pretty much like, you wake up, like you're at a classroom or something, you fall asleep, you wake up, a bunch of weird shit happens, and it's all about, which I fucking figure out like 20 minutes into the game, that's a horror game.
Okay. The game, right, that's always a fun surprise, I guess.
The whole time I'm like kind of creeped out, and I'm thinking, wow, like Dylan's girlfriend might actually like this game. Like it seems like it's for her. Like it seems like it's not like super, like it's like a point and click kind of game. Like you kind of walk around with your mouse, and it's not like, I'm like, the game's kind of like a creepy vibe. It's kind of like dark, and I don't know. It seems like, she might like it. I don't know. I'll keep playing. If I like it, I'll, definitely like tell Dylan to tell her to try it out. And I'm like going through it. And yeah, like not 20 minutes. I'm gonna say like 5 minutes into the game, I start realizing it's a fucking horror game where like, it stops being interesting, and I'm just sitting there creeped out, and like I'm in my room, and like all the lights are off and shit, and I'm like kind of playing the game, and yeah, so I find out like a lot of it's based around, how like Japan and shit, they have like really weird like monster type things. Like, I know. Like there's the girl that has like the mask over, like the mask over her face, and she'll ask if you think she's pretty, and if you say yes, she'll take off the mask, and once you jump or get scared, she'll kill you. Or if you say no, if you say she's pretty, she'll do that. And if you say no, then she'll get mad and kill you. And what you're supposed to do is ask her a question that will get her confused, and then you run away while she's trying to think of an answer.
Yeah, they got a lot of cool things like that.
Yeah, they got like really weird folk tale.
There was another one I heard. There's another one I heard. I just want to mention this one. You'll be walking at nighttime, and you'll hear someone coming up behind you, and you're supposed to turn around, step to the side, and say, "You may pass me." Mm-hmm. And then they'll walk past, and it's supposed to be like this, like, shadowy thing. Yeah. You say, you may pass, or you may go before me, or please, after you.
It's like being polite and stuff, right? Yeah. A lot of the folks, like, tales seem like to be based around, like, that type of thing, where it's obviously
Well, then again, they are very, like, they're very polite, right?
Yeah,
Society teaches politeness to a T.
Yeah. And, like, so I, like, get into the game, and I'm like, in the auditorium, I, like, find this chick, and then, she's like sleeping, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Talk to her for a bit, like, Like, I'm kind of like going through, and it's kind of like a puzzle game, right? You're like, I need to find she needs her necklace. I'm not leaving without my necklace. It's my family heirloom. So you're searching around. You're like, oh, there's a vent. I see them way down this vent. What the fuck? All right, that's kind of weird. Okay, I find an umbrella. I grab like that type of puzzly type game.
Sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm like, well, this is creepy, but it's a fun little puzzle game. And the story, like, I'm really interested. Like, what the fuck is going on? The whole thing
You're just
is
confused, though. You're not, like,
yeah, the whole
invested in
thing
the
is that,
story.
like, there's a big crazy typhoon that wiped out the bridge, so you're kind of stuck in the school for the night, and, like, everyone left because of this big typhoon that came out of nowhere, kind of. And then we get the keys, and I'm like, I find some keys, I'm like, all right, let's fucking leave the auditorium, let's go. And I walk out, she doesn't come with me, and I, like, walk, and I'm, like, clicking and reading everything as I go by, and then I read this, like, I get to the end, and it's like, the tree has fallen, you can't pass, and then there's like an altar, and you're like, why is this altar here? And you read it, and it's like, whatever it's called, when you smell its incense, you must hold your breath and walk quietly by it. I was like, what? And I start fucking walking, and then there's this creepy ass fucking thing, like, sitting next to this incense, and it's like, hold right click to hold your breath, and I like start freaking the fuck out, like sneak by it, and obviously they time it so you fucking run out of breath and you start breathing and it freaks out and chases you. And it fucking like, it starts freaking me out. So like I fucking, get out. I'm like freaking the fuck out over this game. And then then just jump scares start happening and shit. And I got really fucking mad that I spent like $20 in this game that just fucking like 20 jump scares in 30 minutes pretty much.
I hate that.
Like,
shit.
Vicky might like it though because of just like the whole folk like tale, like it's based around all those creatures.
That does sound
and stuff.
pretty cool. I do like that. I don't know too much of it. But
Yeah, it's definitely
it's
like
really, really interesting.
And you kind of have to, like it's definitely fun. It scared the fuck out of me. It got me really angry because my friend is like, dude, after
I want to be happy.
Yeah, after I left, my buddy was like,
screen.
Yeah, my buddy's
Fuck
like,
you, game.
Yeah. My one buddy noticed me playing. He's like, wow, man, took you 30 minutes to rage quit. And I'm like, yeah, fuck that game. Too fucking scary. Like, I'll be playing and like...
Thought it was a hentai simulator. What the fuck?
Yeah, I thought I was getting punished. But, no, like, dude, my neighbor must think I'm crazy because, like, she just hears, like, shit! Holy fuck! Oh, you cock! Fucking holy shit! You know what I mean? Like, and I just start swearing and getting really angry and I'll fucking, like, bang my chair. Like, fuck that shit. You fucking... And I get really mad over jump scares. And
some old ladies next door being like, honey, did you mix the medications again?
Yeah,
Freaking
something
out.
like that. And then yes, I got really fucking pissed off. And then I found out Resident Evil 7 came out today, being Tuesday.
Forgot about that game, eh?
And I'm like, oh my god, dude. And I found this out yesterday. I'm like, oh my god, dude, Resident Evil 7. Like, oh my god, I love all the Resident Evils. I hope it's like Resident Evil 3. That's my favorite one. You know what I mean? Like, there are, like, some jump scares, but, like, it's based around, like, really fun action of shooting zombies, and you know what I mean? Like, you're going through... It's, I love Resident Evil 3, it's my favorite, and, so I pre-ordered it, pre-downloaded, came out today, and I go to fucking play it. Do you want to know what the fucking premise is?
Spoiler alert. Yes, I do.
Well, the whole premise is that you're in a house and you're trying to get out, and it's just a scary game. It's just jump scares and shit. That's it.
There's no fucking Raccoon City or anything like that.
No, it's just fucking like there's a family in the, I'm not gonna give out too much, but like you this is like all figured out in the first 5 minutes of the game. Like you go into oh, my friend's playing it right now actually. But yeah, you just go into this house and like yeah, now you gotta get out, kind of. Like, there's a bunch of other shit.
Are there zombies in it?
There's, like, a family. You know what I mean? There's, like, a family in there. A bunch of weird-ass shit. Kind of zombie-related, but not really. But, it's not your typical, like, pull out your gun. It's first person. That's the worst thing. That's why it's so scary, is it's a fucking first person. And, like, you'll be walking and... Where you going, boy? Fucking guy grabs you on the shoulder and spins you around on a note. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, scary shit. And, like... It's not like, you're walking around, you're knifing zombies to save ammo, and make sure I hit him in the head. It's nothing like that. I've played 2 hours of it, and I haven't had that yet. I mean, the story is actually really good, and I get involved in it. But
it's 2 hours long of being in a house trying to get out?
I've been in a house for 2 hours straight, and I'm 100% certain that's the whole premise of the game. 100% certain, just the way that the atmosphere is, and like the way the story is linked into like why you're in the house. Like that has to be like 5 or 6 hours of you trying to get out, and then that's it. The game's over. Like I'm gonna ask my buddy in like pretty much after this to like figure out if I'm actually right about that. But like,
yeah, I'm gonna look into that. That sounds
upsetting.
Why? Like, yeah, that's call it something else, not Resident Evil. Then, fuck.
Well, like Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, Biohazard 7 Resident Evil. Like that's the title of it, and it's just like the one thing that pissed me off. Is that,
what if it's called Biohazard? It's like right. It's probably about residents in the house.
Oh, like it's some copy company.
You're in an evil resident house, yeah.
For the 7th time, yeah. No, it's made by Capcom and everything. It's 100%
residential like, evil. It's like a whole subdivision.
Evil houses and shit.
Spooky. That's hilarious. I think you got fucking screwed by
what pissed me off is
games.
What pissed me off is I got excited. I am like, I need a game to tie me over until Resident Evil. So I fucking went and bought Detention, and I'm like, this game is way too scary for me. I'm just gonna wait till Resident Evil. And this game is fucking so scary too. Like,
right. So that was. Okay, that's...
Yeah, I got, like, double dicked. I was like...
That sucks.
Yeah, I just want to play a fun game.
Are you looking for a game still?
Yeah.
I will recommend, because it's cheap, well done, and I think it's just one developer, so it's, you know what I mean?
It's called Well Done?
Little guy. Pardon?
It's called Well Done?
No, it's a well done game.
Oh, what's it called?
Undertale.
Oh.
So look it up.
How's the story
video
in
game,
it, though? Like, I'm trying
Video
to find,
Game
like...
Donkey does a little bit of it, but it's really good. So I had heard this on the Giant Bomb podcast. I listen to that all the time, and it won, like, the Game of the Year. Not number 1, but it was in the top 10 for a bunch last year. So I was like, oh, cool. And then I randomly saw his video, and I watched, and I was like, this is Undertale? Because I thought Undertale was kind of going to be like Insomnia or something like that, right? Just because, like, I had no idea what the game was, so I was literally I just assumed it was going to be like that. So when they were describing it, I was picturing it that type of game.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like that at all. And I was like, that's what it is. And then I was watching the video, and then like I start playing, and I'm like, wow, this game's really cool. It's really interesting, like well written. It's really unique too. It's not like it's a pretty cool game, and like it's not expensive and shit at all.
Yeah, like my thing is, I remember like it's a really goofy game, isn't it? Like, I want to play, like, something like, okay, Life is Strange has left a void in me that, like, I need to fill in terms of story and shit, and, like, how attached I got to that game, and which actually originally got created because of Last of Us. You know what I mean? Like, those, like...
Yeah, you need that to trickle on. So,
yeah. And I'm like,
maybe just look it up, because it's not, like, it's not really goofy. There might be some kind of goofy parts where it's like, oh, normally we kill you, but let's have some fun, and we're going to make some puzzles and force you to go do them.
Mm-hmm.
When you're like, well, in reality, you probably would have just killed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was just an example of that. Like, that's not how it works at all. But, like, check it out then. You just take a look at it. It's
like $11 or something, yeah.
I'm trying to think of some other games. Maybe if anyone out there knows a game, they're like, fuck yeah, this is my favorite game.
Like, I want, like, a crazy good story.
Dude, play some Final Fantasy games. Have you ever played Final Fantasy 7, 8, or 9?
Yeah? What are you talking about? Of course I have.
Oh, okay, never mind. For some reason, I thought, well, if you haven't even if you play them and haven't beat them, I suggest, like, even going back and beating them. Because Final Fantasy 9, I've probably started a new game on that, like, 10 times, but I never beat it. And, like, so I bought it for my phone. Like, I'm gonna sit down and beat it, because normally, like, I was younger when I played it, so I'd find a new game and just stop playing it with no problem, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, those are all, and they're also really replayable. Like, I've beaten Final Fantasy 7 like probably 5 times. I'll play it like every 3 years, and like beat it. And every time I'm just like, man, this game's so good. And, like, the story has me hooked every time.
Yeah, like, I've played quite a bit of Final Fantasy. Like, I like that stuff. I don't know. It's something like, I don't know. Like, I've been trying to find a game that's like I don't know. I'm gonna beat Resident Evil. Like, I fucking spent $80 on that bullshit, and I can't refund it because I've played like the 2-hour limit.
You're gonna beat Biohazard?
Yeah, Biohazard, the 7th evil residence. Yeah, like,
is there 7 family members?
No.
Oh, that would have been hilarious.
Like, it's Like, oh my god, like, I don't know. I just don't like scary games.
No, I don't, for the most part, jump scare, like, we used to live with our grandparents for a bit, and I remember I was playing a game, I think it's Fear 2, and that game made me scream so many times that my grandparents' cat, like, shit all over the carpet.
Yeah.
So I kept screaming, and the cat was a little bit skittish, but, like, it never, like, did that shit, and, like, I got in trouble for screaming too much. Because the cat, shit all over the carpet.
Yeah.
Good times.
Like, I only like scary things if there's, like, a chick there. It's because it's better like that. I don't like it being me or just a bunch of dudes because it's weird and you're kind of scared for no reason. I guess with a chick, you kind of have to pretend you're not scared, so then...
I can't do that. Literally, I remember playing Fear 2, and one of the biggest screams was I was walking, and my character kicked a can, like a soda can on the ground.
Yeah.
And it kind of went forward, and that, like, made me jump because I didn't expect that to come and make noise.
Yeah.
So literally anything, I'm just like, ah! Shit! Fuck me! Like, I can't hold it in. I'll look like a huge pussy if I do that in front of girls.
Yeah, I mean, I can hold it in. It's just, like, I'm sitting on my own, and it's, like, I literally I don't scream, but I always go, like, what I do is I curl up, kind of. I, like, turn my head away, and I kind of, like, quickly, like, jump into, like, fetal position on my chair and go, holy shit! And then I just, like, immediately go back to playing once, like, the scare is over. But, like...
See, I compress, like, my body goes into, like, a fetal position, and then I instantly spring back. Like, I use that to, like, force myself to jump as high as possible.
Yeah,
out of this situation. I don't know. Anyways, let's talk about some news, shall we?
Let's get into the news.
All right, so... we get some, they labeled this, some raid tweaks and quality of life fixes. So, first things first, I also want to mention before we do it, if there's any way you guys have, like, ways you want us to do the news and shit like that, please let us know. If there's things that we should leave out or more things we should include, please let us know. And, yeah, because, you know, there's always these little fixes, and I don't know if I should include them or not, but I'm going to until told otherwise. Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, we see some changes. We'll start with the Twisted Bow. So now they've changed the cap on the maximum amount of damage that it can do versus the magic level, right? So does that make sense?
Yeah. So
okay,
yeah, go on.
So yeah, I guess they just capped it because it was just too strong before, and then they basically set, like, the most damage you'll be doing is against targets with level 250 magic. So, I guess it just scales down against people with lower magic levels. But higher magic levels, you might not notice as much. Mm-hmm. So, and it's the damage is the only thing that gets affected. Accuracy will stay the same. Kodai Wand, 15% chance of negating rune costs on offensive spell casts. Offensive spell casts are spells that only work in combat. So, again, a lot of happens in Runescape, so we might miss things, so feel free to, like, let us know about some of the other parts that stand out, but they say they change it to offensive spells only, so I'm guessing you could fucking high alch with it before, and you have a 15% chance to keep your shit.
Yeah, I hope that's not the case, because
I think it was before, because they said the change now is 15% chance of offensive spells.
Well... well, I guess
anyways,
it's good they
so that's what it
it
is now. Offensive spell is a spell that only works in combat. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, so, like, you can't safe spot wyverns, or not wyverns, but, you know, something with magic. You have to, like, be taking damage. Is that what the...
No, I think it's just, like, I think you just can't, like, alch with a Kodai Wand, and then, like, 15% chance that your alch runes won't get spent, right?
Okay.
So this is only for, like, you know, if you stun, maybe if you snare them, anything you have to use directly on another opponent.
Okay.
Right, so you couldn't, like, charge orb.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even say teleports, right? Ancestral robes, you can now turn it into a set at the GE, so merchers, I'm sure you like that. Alright, and these are actual kind of raid tweaks within the raid itself. So scavenger runts are now beefier, their words, not mine. They drop 2 items now, previously it was 1. Dragon Warhammer now acts as a hammer for construction and raids. Cool.
Nice. And I like that.
Vanguard, which is a boss, now has a chance to drop potions upon defeat. Sure. And these are just quality of life, not specifically for the raid, just RuneScape in its entirety. So the XP experience has been fixed for the Dragon Claw special attack. There are now more broken light bulbs in Dorgashun Khan at all times. Raids are now open in all Dead Man Moan worlds, but PvP is not permitted, and you can't enter Well Scald. Player mod crown will show over Iron Man in chat, the Iron Man symbol. I don't know why they just don't show both. More NPCs drop champion challenge scrolls, and a lot of these these monsters are going to drop these scrolls. You probably would have assumed they had them before. Okay.
Okay. So it's like different skeletons, or will it now be like another set of mobs? Like
it'll be like maybe let's say the skeleton champion scroll only dropped from one type of skeleton. Now they're like people probably assumed it dropped from all skeletons.
Okay.
So now they did, or maybe they missed some of the skeletons that didn't drop it before. Mm. So now they do.
Okay.
The click zone on potions and raids is increased, so you can pick them up a little bit easier. You can cross the flat stone that's used in Mountain Daughter using planks from both directions. Iron Men now have separate food stock and recipe for disaster chest. Improved attack animation for the Hopeless Creature and A Soul's Bane. A render issue while wearing some 2015 holiday items has been addressed, whatever that means. Temple Guardian fight and Priest in Peril now instanced.
That's actually a pretty big fix.
Why?
Because people were griefing a dead man mode by staying in combat with it and not killing it.
Word
yeah,
life.
So no one could get it done. That's cool. Really good now.
Anything you want to touch on? Super excited for the crossing that flat stone in Mountain Daughter?
Well, I'm actually kind of excited to see the new attack animation for Soulsbane.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I'm going to make a new account just so I can redo the quest.
I haven't done the quest yet, so I gotta,
you're being serious.
Yeah,
that's a good quest. That's a fun quest.
Yeah, I'll probably... I really want to say I'll have the quest cape by next episode, but 38 quests or something?
That's
my
you,
goal.
level 90? Who the fuck gets a quest cape after level 100? Once you get triple digits, you don't get the quest cape anymore.
Yo, I get the quest cape, then I'm getting the music cape. That's my goal.
The music cape's pretty... I actually don't see that many music capes.
Yeah, no, I rarely see it. And I've always loved it. I always just think it's super nice looking.
Agreed.
Yeah, but I should actually touch up on the Twisted Bow, the cap thing. The little nerf it made. The day of the nerf, do you know how much the Twisted Bow dropped in price?
Oh, let's hear it actually. No.
Like 300 mil.
And it was max stack before, right?
Twisted Bow, it didn't have a cap, right? So you could hit, 85 on bandos, which was...
How much was it worth, though?
Oh, it was worth, I believe at the time, like almost 1.2 bill.
Okay, so it dropped down to 900 mil. Damn.
Oh, it dropped down to like 800 mil, so yeah. I'm kind of off on that, but yeah. Yeah, it went down to like 800 mil. I think a friend might have done a video on it, but I remember like looking up the prices and like, whoa, what happened? And then I found out that the Twisted Bow got nerfed. Pretty crazy on how like a nerf like that like crashed a price,
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely needed, the nerf on it. But I mean, I was also thinking about it. If you're dropping like back then, like 1.2 bill, or even on the first day, like a whole cash stack on the Twisted Bow, how many times would you have to kill bandos to make your money back?
I think we talked about this before, though. These are the people that probably just have so much money that they don't really...
Yeah, they probably just want the pet or something, right?
They're going to keep it. They want to use it, and they're not going to, like... I don't think they want to go farm, like, a bunch of bosses, necessarily. They just, like, the new best bow is out. I want the new best bow, and I want people, like...
Yeah, it's like
see me
show off your wealth type thing.
Yeah, you can kind of show off, but you're also going to use it, because it's the best, right? So,
yeah.
I think the reason for them dropping as much money as they are is partly because I want the new bow right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sorry.
So I think anyone who's buying items like that on the first day, they're gonna crash regardless. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So
yeah.
Do you know? Sorry, it's kind of off topic. But do you know if they change Bandos' magic attack?
No, I don't know.
Because it says it's only 80, and people were hitting 85s in the video,
So that's why they I think that's why they capped it, was because Bandos isn't supposed to have a large.
Yeah, but like it's only at 80 magic now, right? And I was thinking like Zolr has 300 magic attack.
Yeah, so I think they lowered the caps on it all, and I think the Zolr cap from how it was before probably didn't get nerfed as much as the attacking Bandos would. You know what I mean? So what they wanted to do was they wanted to make it basically they want it to be very effective against monsters with high magic, but they don't want it to be like, oh, it doesn't matter what the magic level it is because this thing fucks shit up no matter what.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
that's what I think.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I'm kind of thinking. I guess if you want to get every single pet, you could just rock a twisted bow and kill fucking like everything. You know what I mean? Like, you could just do that. You don't need melee for Mandos. You know what I mean? You don't need mage and range for Zolra. If you're hunting boss pets. Like, I wonder what the Mole Mom is.
I don't know, but yeah, like I said, there is now, like, the cap is going to be, of damage on Bandos will be a lot lower than when it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, the Mole has 200 magic attacks, so you probably could range that now. Like, yeah, I guess if you're gonna get it, you're just getting pets, and yeah, to show off your wealth and getting stuff.
Show off your wealth, and you're just, it's the fucking best, bow in the game.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the same reason people buy the Third Age, right? Like,
yeah, just to kind of look fly as hell.
Yeah, no one wants this plate armor that's like, well, I got Third Age plate because it has the best crush defense in the game, or it's got better than dragging than crush defense.
Yeah.
Like, no one's dropping 400 mil for 3 extra defense points.
But it's weird that people literally drop it to be like, hey, look.
Well, if you have
$1,000, this is equivalent to $1,000 real life on this item.
Yeah. I mean, like, people who probably staked or people who just have tons of money, they probably,
Yeah, I guess if you're buying a Twisted Bow, it's not even a hit to your wallet.
Like, yeah, exactly. The people who are, like, those are the celebrities, you know what I mean? Like, not the celebrities, but you know what I'm trying to say, the fucking 1%ers.
Yeah, exactly.
1% of the player base is probably able to rock that shit. It's going to be like that for a while. Yep. Just like the Elysian Shield. How long has that been in the game? You know what I mean? I'm not even looking anywhere close to ever having that.
Yeah. Except the
if I ever did get that, like, sell it.
Yeah, it's so good, though. It's
I know, but that's
OP.
what I'm saying. Like, I'm, like, I don't know. There's so many things in between that's just, like, I'm not at any point in my life, my bank's worth like maybe 100 mil. Probably not anymore because I sold everything so many times to level skills up.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, I should actually mention on, kind of want to mention this now because it's kind of nice, but on the 26th, like the next update, they're fixing the walk here now. You can right click and walk here like accurately now.
Oh, so that's going to be out for when this is out.
Yeah, like I just want to mention that now. And I'm pretty sure RS3 doesn't even have that issue fixed.
Oh, burn!
Yeah, which is, I mean, I guess lore-wise, I guess something happened.
Yeah, it's gonna...
Because they try and keep everything in line with the lore of RS3, but like, I don't know, it's kind of funny how a lot of people shit on like the Jagex team, but like they're cranking out fixes to things that RS3 like hasn't even thought of that has been an issue forever.
Yeah, like they seem to genuinely care for the most part about old school RuneScape. I'm not saying the RuneScape 3 team doesn't. I don't pay as much attention to RuneScape 3. RuneScape 3 is a really great game on its own, but when it comes down to like, the game that I like as RuneScape, that I would call RuneScape, I tend to lean towards old school RuneScape as many people do. And yeah, I just think like they care because you got to think too, like there was probably like people like imagine working on RuneScape. It sucks for us. We played it. One of the hobbies we liked, kind of, for me, when peeking out, taken out, I crushed it and I gave away my account and shit and sold everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's people on the other end who probably love the PKing-ness and they're just like pulling their hair out being like, you guys are ruining this. I love this thing and you guys are like, just kicked it in the nuts. Why?
Yeah. I mean, well, most of the player base quit. And like, man, have you noticed the numbers RS has been pulling actually since the raids?
No, not specifically.
Every time I check, like, we're over 60K.
It's fucking awesome. Are you on the actual RuneScape site or the old school RuneScape?
Like I'll open up, like, what's it called? Like the old school. And
nice.
It'll say, like, 60K. Like, every time I've checked, it's been 60K. My buddies have pointed that out that, like, the raids have like increased like a big player. Like they've brought back so many players and gotten so many new players.
Yeah, the raids were great though. They were really well done.
Yeah.
Is that our segue?
Yeah, I think that's our segue.
Segue.
Yeah, do you want
to take a break, right?
Yeah, it's our segue to take a break.
Yeah, buddy. All right, we'll be back then. All right, and we're back. Okay, and as we said, we're on our raiding into the new year, part 3. So we're gonna cover all the puzzles that are involved this time. So yeah, within the raid, you'll encounter some rooms that'll just be like kind of like a little puzzle. Might have to kill some shit. Might have to do a little thing. Might have to do something, or you might have to use your skills.
Yeah, so like every room has like a specific mechanic kind of attached to it.
Yeah, sort of. So, like, I'll just start. We'll start with the one that's going to be a fucking mouthful to explain. It's called, the crab puzzle. Okay? So, you enter a room, and there's a bunch of crabs and crystals within the room, okay? The goal is to turn 5 of the 5 crystals white. And there'll be a bunch of different colors, okay?
Okay.
So basically, the crabs act as mirrors. I'll call them mirror crabs because I don't know why they go with crabs. Did you ever do the Halloween event?
I never did.
Okay, well, for anyone, if anyone did do the Halloween event, at the end of it, the boss fight, I'm trying to remember. Basically, I think a knife, something would shoot out of the wall, and you'd have to get a mirror and reflect it off the mirror, and it would go into the other direction, and you'd have to hit the guy with that. Okay, anyway, that's what you had to do. So it's basically the same concept for this, okay? An orb shoots out of the wall, it'll go down a straight line, and it'll bounce off of the crabs, and your goal is to basically get them to hit the crystal. But in order to turn the crystals white, depending on what color they are, you need to hit them with a specific... The orb will change color when it hits the crabs, and then you need to hit the crystal with the specific color. Little thing I will note is you can stun the crabs with a hammer, because they do move around. So let's say you're soloing it, or you just want them to stay still, stun them with a hammer. And if you get hit with the white orb, it will do a high amount of damage. The goal is not to get hit by that either. Alright, so to get the crabs to change color, you have to hit them with a certain... combat, like the combat style you hit them with will change them color depending on what style it is. You following so far?
Yep.
Okay. So it's pretty simple to remember the colors. If you want it blue, mage them. If you want it red, melee them. If you want it green, range them. Okay?
Okay.
Now, unfortunately, the whole what color orb for what color crystal doesn't make any fucking sense for the most part. I think they went for an opposites. I guess it does. If you're good with your colors, if you're an artiste, then this will make sense to you. I don't know why I was confused when I looked at it. So if it's black, you need to hit it with a white orb. If it's yellow, hit it with blue. If it's blue, hit it with a red. If it's purple, hit it with a green. All right?
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. All right.
Yeah, there will be times you'll have to get more than one bounce. So you'll have to get the crabs set up so they bounce a few times.
Now, is this... Do you think this one's like the least pug friendly type of
I would say
puzzle,
so.
or the puzzle? Because that sounds like you need good coordination with a group.
It reminds me of in Pokemon. Okay, I shouldn't even try to fucking relate these two. It's gonna be confusing. But in Pokemon, when you went to the caves and there was ice, you had to cross. You had to slide into the fucking boulders.
Oh yeah,
and use those to stop you. So that's what it kind of reminds me of. Which, yeah, it seems like it's gonna be frustrating, especially because it's RuneScape. Because you know the fucking the sheep herder quest.
Yeah,
that thing's that's the worst quest. That's the hardest quest in the game.
Yeah. So you kind of have to herd them because you're gonna have to get multiple bounces and stuff. Like at one point, will you need to bounce like multiple times, or
like you will be able? There are times you'll be able to bounce it once, but I think you might be in situations you'll have to set up maybe 2 bounces.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I find this. Yeah, this is gonna be the puzzle where like the one person that doesn't really know what they're doing, they're just gonna like waste everyone's time and just screw them all over.
Yeah, but the good thing is though, like fucking a group of level 3s could technically beat it.
Yeah, that's true.
So you don't need to be high level skills, but yeah. So you turn all the crystals white, boom, Bob's your uncle, you're finished. Move on to the next one. All right, so we'll move on to the next puzzle room. Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. The next one is just Lizard Man Shamans. So you'll get between 2 and 4, and depending on there's the size of how many there are and how strong they are depending on your party size. Basically, all the monsters, for the most part, their strength is going to vary depending on your party size.
Okay.
So I'm not going to keep repeating that. Kill the Lizardmen Shamans and proceed.
Pretty straightforward. Is it like the... Okay, yeah. So it's like the bosses, I guess, Lizardmen Shamans, you can get the Dragon Warhammers from?
Yeah, no, they don't drop any items. So you're not
but it's the same mechanics, I guess,
involved with that. Yeah, same mechanics. So when I went and tried to do the raid, I never did the raid because my account's just not there yet. So I went in there and I just jumped in the first day it was out because I said, fuck it, let's see what this is all about. And the first room I encountered was the Lizardmen Shamans, and eventually people joined who wanted to take it serious. Like, I was running in, like, going full on, like, trying to, kite them and, run underneath them, flinch them, and trying to avoid their AoE damages, and I was just dying a bunch.
Okay.
And then eventually people joined, they're just like, dude, just fucking safe them. Like, if you hide back here, you can safe them. And
So there are save spots?
Yeah, there's, like, at the end of a tunnel, I think you need a crystal boat, maybe, but... Okay. There is some mechanics to Lizardmen Shamans.
Yeah,
they have
just
like
in general.
A leap move. Yeah, they have a leap move where they'll jump on you. They have it's kind of like a splash. Like they'll shoot it's like a poison shot almost, and it'll splash in like a little square, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, just defeat them and move on.
Okay.
All right. Dark Altar Room. These are the names that were given on the wiki, so that's what I'm going to use. It's a room filled of monsters called Skeletal Mystics, and they attack with either mage or melee. If they're at a distance, obviously they'll attack with mage, but they'll also change their combat style depending on what you're praying. Also note though that their mage attacks will hit through prayer.
Oh, so I was gonna say, could you just stand afar with mage defense, and then they'll come in to melee you, and then you just swap to melee, then go back to mage and run away, kind of?
I don't know. I'm not sure if they'll like do the opposite attacks of yours. I mean, your prayers, or if they'll just kind of like. No, I don't know. Okay. But yeah, you just defeat them and then you can move on. Next one we have Ice Demon. So there's an Ice Demon frozen in ice, and there's basically 4 torches placed in front of him. You have to cut some saplings and set them on fire with the torches to melt the Ice Demon. When you set them on fire, Ice Fiends that you can't target them. So Ice Fiends will spawn though, and they'll one at each torch, and they'll just every tick or so, every 2 ticks. I don't know. Mm-hmm. In intervals, they'll hit your torch and put out the flame. So you'll need a lot of saplings as well. So when I was watching some streamers, a lot of them, this was a problem of them fucking they would just not cut enough. And the problem is once the fires go out, the ice starts freezing again. You see his like little health bar start going back up.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. But yeah, once you unfreeze him, once you melt the Ice Demon will emerge and he will attack you with a weak ice spell. So pray mage, I guess, and just take him out.
Yeah, put that dog down.
Yeah. Next, Creature Keeper. So in the room, there's just a bunch of chests. You got to search them, and you'll find basically worms. You're searching them for worms, and then you're using the worms to feed a corrupted scavenger that's just kind of sitting at the door. So you just keep feeding him until he's done, and then he'll move out of the way. The chests have a chance of damaging you, but besides that, that's pretty straightforward. The next one, Deathly Room. So basically in the room there's just a bunch of mages and rangers, which are just going to be attacking you, but you have to retrieve a keystone, which is across a tightrope. And if I remember correctly, you need 90 agility to get the keystone. So I'm pretty sure if you didn't have the 90 agility, you're kind of fucked there.
Maybe there's like another way that's just way worse. Maybe really slow or something. Because I couldn't see them having a 90 agility gate on a room.
Oh, fuck me.
Yeah, it'd be... People would have complained about that by now, I think.
They probably have. But yeah, so kill them or... I don't actually... Sorry. So yeah, retrieve the keystone and you're good to go. And lastly, we got Guardians. Basically, you just have to fight them with a pickaxe, and they attack with like a 3x3 square as a melee attack.
So don't really stack, kind of just spread out type of a thing?
Yeah, they recommend it for you to flinch, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, hit them, walk under, hit them, walk under.
Yeah, to reduce the damage.
Yeah.
But yeah, there we got puzzles. Let me just double check. I want to make sure. Yeah, I think we're good. So yeah, what's your opinion?
I like the variety. I mean, there's not like a huge amount of puzzle rooms.
It'd be cool that if they would slowly just keep adding them.
I think they probably will.
And stuff.
I wouldn't be surprised if they would do that because like they could keep this one raid fresh for like 2-3 years. You know what I mean? They could just slowly. Oh yeah, we added a new room.
Yeah, no,
maybe a new
item.
About
this, it might have been last episode even, but this is what I was thinking. Like, do they do that, or do they make a whole new raid?
No, I think if they're smart about it, they would just add more content and.
Would you add new items as well?
I think eventually maybe you would change the drop. Like, I think it would be kind of neat if they changed them. Instead of like, oh, now they're dropping emeralds and stuff, they would drop like something equivalent to them. You know what I mean?
They had they had like a rotating drop table.
Yeah, it'd be pretty neat.
So 1 month you had a chance of getting these items, and Twisted Bow was one of them. The next month the Twisted Bow is taken off, and it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be pretty neat. I mean,
whatever.
I think all of these people probably could do easily on their first attempts in general. I think the Ice Demon would be kind of difficult. And then I
think that would be one of the easier ones, because the ones that would be difficult would be kind of like the Mystics, because I think they would just kill you sooner.
Well, I find that like
I don't know.
I think the average person that's jumping into a raid kind of understands mechanics like on their own. Like they could handle killing like this Mystic that does this much damage.
Okay,
But then when it comes to like the group work with like, okay, now you need to get this many saplings, set them on fire. Okay, we got to keep the torches going because we can't let them keep freezing. Like that,
that one's just time consuming because you fail it, then you just let's try it again, and we'll just cut twice as many. That didn't work twice as many as that. The crab one, I could see that one just being pure frustration. Like, okay, this isn't fucking worth it.
Like, God damn it, Timmy, just sit in the corner. You're fucking everybody over.
You're not getting experience. Stop maging everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them definitely do look more favorable than others.
Yeah.
I could see if I was running them more often, like let's say I walk into the raid and the crab puzzle was the first room. I could see myself being like, all right, no, let's try it again. Let's get out of here and let's jump back in, and boom, look at that. We got we have to feed the corrupted scavenger some worms. That's easy as fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? But the problem is when you're like halfway through the raid. So, yeah, you'd like the puzzle idea, yeah?
Yeah, I totally like the puzzle idea. I mean, it does give, like I said it before, but yeah, it definitely does give them more room to like expand raids and make them even more interesting. You can add more puzzle rooms, add more bosses, and find the mechanics that people like and the mechanics people hate, and like kind of throw them into another puzzle room. Like I don't know, they have a good variety in terms of like killing things, teamwork. Like, you know what I mean? Like, understanding how, like the lizard shamans and whatnot work, and maybe finding the safe spots and whatnot.
I would love, like, a huge roguelike dungeon. I would love dungeoneering. It's basically what I was saying. No, I was just picturing like Binding of Isaac in my head, like but as RuneScape.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be kind of cool if you had like a raid currency and you would walk into a room and you're at the shop. You got the shop room. You know what I mean? You could like, all right, let's buy some 50 items here and there. I was just thinking like you could add a lot into the raid. Yeah, because their take on the raid is completely different than like World of Warcraft and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they have so much room to experiment. And hey, didn't we just get a new guy on the old school RuneScape team who's an engine developer? Is that how you say it?
He's the junior engine developer, whatever. So that's pretty big. We'll actually see some
step
big
in the right direction, if you
yeah.
ask me.
Finally, we'll be able to get that EOC update we've all been waiting for.
Oh, man, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything you want to talk about or discuss about the puzzles?
I don't know. Just in general, like I really like them. I mean, I kind of feel like they should have more.
I do feel like it's a good start for how many there are, but I could see it getting pretty boring.
Yeah, like if they had like 30 puzzles, 30 unique types of puzzles incorporated.
I would love
all
for
them
to continuously add more puzzles and stuff, but at the same time, like I don't know. Actually, I don't know.
Like I don't know. My opinion is they should add definitely. Hopefully, they're looking to add even more puzzle rooms because I think the bosses are one thing. You don't want to have too many bosses because that's kind of what everyone's working towards, and they at least for now you kind of want to have a small pool of bosses that people learn the mechanics and go through. But the puzzle rooms you're obviously hitting way more than bosses just in general.
Yeah,
and those are the tedious things. Like I think in general you want to do the raids to kill bosses and to kill like the last boss.
Yeah, exactly.
But
normally the puzzle will lead up to the boss. And
so like you don't
would picture it at least.
Yeah, and like you don't really want to like how many are there? Like 7 or something? 7 or 8? Like there's
7.
Yeah, there's not that many. And like do you like yeah, I don't know. It definitely would probably get stale after, 50 runs.
I will say this. I've been watching like a bunch of YouTube videos just on like raid and stuff.
Yep.
If you want to like learn all there is to like a raid through a YouTube video, you have to watch like multiple different YouTubers, like YouTube creators because you have to watch multiple video creators because like a lot of like puzzle guides, they would miss a puzzle, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And like I would have to search this person. Oh shit, he missed this one. And then like I noticed that I don't know. I noticed that many people are running these over and they're not getting, they might have done it 10 times and still missed, a couple of rooms, right?
Yeah.
I was getting tongue-tied there. So,
we'll just wait for someone like Slayer Music to just do a video on every room. I mean, shit, he's got so many videos and like he's got every single quest, every single diary, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I've been living off of his YouTube videos, but there's going to be someone that just kind of comes out with every single room, and then you just go and watch it a couple times. All right, I understand it. Maybe make a mistake or two. Second time you get it, it's much better, and then it gets to a point where it's like the 4th time you're like, oh my god.
Yeah,
like that's kind of what I'm worried about. But yeah, you never know. Maybe they're all actually fun. I don't know.
Yeah. Because I know Destiny had similar, like they had puzzles in between their boss fights and shit like that.
Yeah.
And they were pretty fun for like a handful of times. But then again, you weren't able to run them continuously, go into it once a week. So
yeah, exactly.
That could have been a factor.
But yeah. Do you have any final thoughts on the rooms in general? The puzzles?
None. 0. I like them. They're pretty cool. Can't wait to try them.
Yeah, pretty much the same. I mean, maybe they'll have more in the future. It's pretty much, I just want some more variety. But it's a good step, and like it's a good step in the right direction, so.
Yeah, and I love roguelike simulators, so cool. Yeah, okay, so next week we're going to cover bosses, and so yeah, you got anything planned for this week or next week, or anything you're looking forward to before our next little recording?
Get my quest cape. At this point, I'm on a pretty good track, so I should have my quest cape by then. Cause I should have it by now. That's the one thing, like going through the quest, it's like, how come I haven't had this done? Why did I do this quest? Like, And it's just something that's always in the back of my mind. If I'm doing something else, it's like, if I just do this quest, it'll make this much easier, I guess, much more convenient.
One thing I want to say that I'm proud of, I'm level 106, 107, 188 quest points, and I still haven't done a Knight's Sword, the free-to-play quest.
Really?
Yeah. I'm going to try to never do it. That's going to be the only quest I never do, I hope.
I think it's a requirement for other quests. I think you'll have to do it at one point.
I'll just ask Jagex to like let me bypass it.
Yeah. Get that Jamflex experience.
Yeah. Weird up.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I'm going to work on my music cape afterwards, so depending on how fast I am with my quest cape, I mean, at this rate, I'll have it really soon, and then maybe I'll have my music cape as well for next episode. I'm not gonna. Yeah, let's say it's a 30% chance I have it.
30% chance. Start taking bets now.
Yeah, for real.
Cool.
Yeah, do you have any plans though?
Negative. I don't think I have anything, and hopefully it stays that way. So, okay, I think that's our cue to mosey on out of here.
Yep. Get back to grinding. Get back to questing.
Yep, and I hear my girlfriend playing music upstairs, so she's about to ruin our quality podcasting.
Yeah, quick
so
bow.
Before that happens, fuck! I just hit my headphones. Now they're fucking up, but
nice.
The show must go on. But all right, yeah. Thanks for listening to and tune in next week. 'Cause it's probably going to be the last for our series on raiding into the new year. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I think we've covered everything except for the last topic, which are the bosses.
For the bosses.
Yep.
Cool. Alrighty then. So, yeah, thanks for listening. And tune in next week for episode 21.
Yeah, buddy.
To stay up to date with show news, RuneScape news, or just shitpost and hang out, you can find us on Twitter at TheWildernessRS. You can feel free to join our Facebook group at facebook.com/TheWildernessPodcast. We also have a YouTube channel set up, so feel free to check us out by just searching the name of the show on YouTube. You'll also see it over at Twitter and on Facebook as well. We also have an email set up, so if you want to get in contact, maybe have some questions or something you want to hear discussed, a story you want to tell us, or just some feedback, you can email us at thewildernesspodcast@gmail.com. And we also have a Discord set up. And if you feel like you want to join and maybe hang out and play with some other scapers, just let us know. Send us a message and get in contact and we'll get you in there. Thanks again for listening. We can't appreciate it enough. Have a good night.